The book of Joshua is the sixth book of the Bible and is part of the Old Testament. It continues the narrative of the Israelites after the death of Moses, detailing their conquest and settlement of the Promised Land, Canaan, under the leadership of Joshua. The book can be divided into four main sections. 1. Entering the Promised Land, chapters 1 to 5. Leadership of Joshua. God commissions Joshua as Moses' successor and encourages him to be strong and courageous. The Israelites are reminded to follow the law of Moses. Crossing the Jordan River. The Israelites miraculously crossed the Jordan River on dry ground, similar to the crossing of the Red Sea. Joshua sets up a memorial of 12 stones to commemorate this event. Circumcision and Passover. After crossing the Jordan, all Israelite males are circumcised to renew the covenant with God. They celebrate Passover and stop eating manna as they begin to live off the produce of the land. Narb 2, Conquest of Canaan, chapters 6 to 12. Jericho, the famous Battle of Jericho occurs. Following God's unusual command, the Israelites march around the city for 7 days, and on the seventh day, the walls collapse. The city is captured and everything in it is destroyed, except Rahab and her family who helped the Israelite spies. Ai and Achan's sin. The first attack on the city of Ai fails due to the sin of Achan, who disobeys God's command and takes plunder. After Achan is punished, the Israelites successfully capture Ai. Southern and Northern campaigns. Joshua leads the Israelites in a series of campaigns to conquer southern and northern Canaan. The Israelites defeat a coalition of kings, and the land is largely subdued. The Gibeonites deceive Israel into making a treaty with them, avoiding destruction. 3. Division of the land, chapters 13-22. Distribution of territories. The land is divided among the 12 tribes of Israel. Each tribe receives a specific allotment of land. The Levites, as the priestly tribe, are given cities rather than a large territorial inheritance. Cities of refuge. God commands the establishment of cities of refuge where those who accidentally kill someone can find asylum. Transjordan tribes. The tribes of Reuben, Gad, and half of Manasseh, who had settled east of the Jordan, build an altar, causing concern among the other tribes. However, the misunderstanding is cleared up and peace is maintained. Joshua's final words in death, chapters 23-24. Joshua's farewell address. Joshua gathers the Israelites and reminds them of God's faithfulness. He warns them to remain faithful to the covenant and not to worship other gods. Covenant renewal. At Shechem, Joshua renews the covenant with the people. They reaffirm their commitment to serve the Lord alone. Joshua's death. Joshua dies at the age of 110, and he is buried in his allotted land. The bones of Joseph, brought out of Egypt, are also buried in Canaan. Themes and messages. Faithfulness to God. The book of Joshua emphasizes the importance of obeying God's commands, which leads to success and blessings, while disobedience brings judgment. God's sovereignty and power. The conquest of Canaan shows God's power and his ability to fulfill his promises as the Israelites defeat much stronger enemies through divine intervention. Covenant renewal. The repeated emphasis on renewing the covenant with God highlights the need for constant commitment to him and his laws. In summary, the book of Joshua recounts Israel's conquest of the Promised Land and the faithfulness of God in fulfilling his promises. It emphasizes the themes of obedience, leadership, and the consequences of faithfulness or disobedience.